those. Yeah, Tissot watches are great. Pole stats look great as well, but what he wants is victories and podiums just to further show and cement this clear progress that the factory Yamaha team are making of late. Pedro Acosta, when he was rather critical of KTM's performance here at Silverstone yesterday, well, he was waxing lyrical about just how significant the strides have been made by Yamaha. He was at pains to point out that, well, look at Yamaha, they have developed at a very rapid rate. Alex Marquez then on the BK8 Gresini Ducati, our 2023 British Grand Prix sprint winner here a couple of years ago. He would love to try and break his brother's domination over 10 laps here. We've had 6 sprints so far this season, and we've had the exact same 1-2 in all of them. Mark leading home Alex.
And Mark is one to watch at the start because he was the one rider yesterday who did not get the chance to do a practice start from the grid, and there is so much to occupy the rider's mind anyway when they get off the line, but it's not a particularly heavy braking zone into Abbey, turn 1 on this lap, which does complicate things in terms of whether to engage your front and rear start devices. So Marc Marquez said himself yesterday he will be starting on instinct here.
Well, Quartararo had to drag himself away from the Monaco Formula 1 qualifying, which he was watching briefly before the start of this sprint. Can he drag himself away from the pursuing pack here in Silverstone? He tried to bolt, didn't he, early on in Le Mans a couple of weeks ago before he just basically burned up that rear tyre. He was all in for the win before he eventually took the checkered flag in that sprint on home turf in 4th place from pole position, and then followed it up, of course, for the rather unfortunate slip out of contention in the really tricky, treacherous, rainy conditions at the Ducati circuit. We've moved from one iconic and historic MotoGP venue in Le Mans to another here at Silverstone. A legacy event, as it's known. Every single rider they want on the CV. They want a British Grand Prix win. They want to taste success at Silverstone. Who will do it over the sprint format? Coming up very, very shortly. Green flag then has cleared at the back. Quartararo on pole position for the 3rd race in a row here in 2025. It's lights out and we're racing in the sprint here in the British Grand Prix. It's a brilliant start from pole position. He has absolutely nailed it on the factory Yamaha, hasn't he? The number 20, Fabio Quartararo. Bagnaia been aggressive on the inside of Alex Marquez, but around the outside of both Alex and Pecco Bagnaia. Briefly went Marc Marquez. He's up into 3rd. Bagnaia was briefly up into 2nd, wasn't he? He's going to get picked off now for 4th by Fermin Aldeguer. So from 2nd to 5th, Bagnaia's gone in 3 corners.
Boy, was that bold from Marc Marquez. One of the Hondas was off into turn 1. I think it was Aleix Espargaro deep down the field. So I can see Luca Marini and Joan Mir still there in the middle of the pack. Bagnaia's early sprint struggles continue as the Marquez brothers chase after Quartararo.
Some good news, Bagnaia has got back through quickly on Aldeguer as Marquez into turn 6, into Brooklands, the long sweeping left-hander. He's up into 2nd immediately. This has been a real good first lap, hasn't it, from Marc Marquez. Gained 2 places already, and now he can set about hunting down Quartararo, just as he did in Jerez, just as he did in Le Mans.
Jack Miller is still where he started in 6th place ahead of Gian Antonio Marini. Rins is a big mover. He's up into 9th place, but Alex Marquez now looking to come back at his older brother, Marc Marquez, who's already done a lot of the hard work that lied ahead of him when the sprint began.
We now then power towards the wonderful Maggots and Beckett section. You weave and snake your way through this part of this wonderful 5.9 kilometre Silverstone circuit. Who's going to get the drive out of Chapel onto the Hanger Straight? This will be Chapel next, this final left-hander out of Maggots and Beckett, and now